according to Muslim sources, Prophet Adam was black.
Mm-hmm.
According to Muslim sources, Prophet Moses was black. Prophet Jesus was black. Prophet Idris, Enoch, Thoth was ancient Egyptian. The prophets were always with and surrounded by righteous, knowledgeable black people. Moses had a Nubian wife. Prophet Musa
Yeah.
Zipporah, right? Zipporah. Prophet Abraham alayhi had a Nubian wife, Hagar, Hajar, peace be upon her, who Muslims to this day imitate her running between the mountains of Safa and Marwa in the holy pilgrimage that we do, the Hajj ceremony.
Right.
Or what other religion? I mean, if Islam was anti-black in its essence, why memorialize
Right.
the actions of a black woman?
Right.
You can't complete Hajj without imitating this black woman.
Right.
This, technically this single mother, or she
Yeah.
wasn't a single mother, but technically she was in a valley,
Right.
abandoned valley with nothing.
Yeah.
With her baby, Prophet Ismail. And Prophet Ishmael, peace and blessings be upon him, it's recorded in Muslim traditions that he learned Arabic. He wasn't Arab.
Right.
Abraham, peace and blessings be upon him, Prophet Abraham was not Arab.
Yeah.
Lady Hajar, Hagar, peace and blessings be upon her, was not Arab. It was a group of Yemeni Arabs known from the tribe of Jurhum that came to Mecca when she discovered Zamzam, when God gave her Zamzam, who taught him Arabic. And they're described as being black-skinned people. So the original Arabs were black. And anyone who goes to Yemen today, you go to southern Yemen, you see brothers walking around, driving on motorcycles with afros. They look like, they look like they're from Atlanta,
Right. Right.
They look like, they're from the bluff or something,
Yeah.
And all throughout our history in Islam, you see the significant and pivotal presence of black people. So I started just talking about the prophets. And the prophets for Muslims are considered to be the most righteous, the most intelligent, and the most beautiful, the most handsome of human beings. They are models. And Moses, who's one of the greatest of the prophets, according to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, he is described by Prophet Muhammad, God bless him, grant him peace, as being jet black. Jet black with tightly curled hair like yours and mine.
Yeah.
Right? He uses the word jad, hair that's like, we people say nappy, kinky hair.
Yeah.
Prophet Moses is described. Now, when you look at the companions around Prophet Muhammad, and that's the book that you referred to that I helped translate with Sheikh Talud Dawood, it highlights dozens of companions around Prophet Muhammad, but it alludes to hundreds of companions that were in his orbit.
Right.
And so before Prophet Muhammad, we have a religion of surrender to the Creator that has among its prophets Black people, among its supporters Black people, men and women. 50% of the events in the Quran happen in Africa, right?
Right.
One of my teachers, Imam Adeyinka, highlights this in his Quranic commentary, in his tafsir.
Right.
Over 50, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Over 50%, not 50%, over 50% of the events that occur in the Quran happen in Africa. We have personalities among the prophets and among the sages that are either African or there are Black Hebrews or Black Arabs. And it's sad that we even have to say that. We have to use the Black because
we're combating something that's going on in the air. Yeah.
We should just be able to say Hebrews and people know, oh yeah, the ancient Hebrews were Black.
Right.
We should just be able to say Arabs, and everyone knows,
Right.
including the Arabs, when they go into their books, they know the ancient Arabs were black.
Right.
But
Yeah.
because of the brown washing and the whitewashing, and that's what I want to get to, of Muslim history,
Yeah.
right, by certain individuals. It wasn't across the board, but you had certain individuals that uh, decided at a point in time that blackness, black skin, and the black people, uh, that blackness was a liability. That
Mm.
blackness was unattractive. That blackness was an indication of intellectual laziness and immorality.
Right.
And one of my friends, Dr. Abdullah bin Hamid Ali, has a book called The Negro in
Yes.
Arab Consciousness.
Yeah. Inshallah, I'll be interviewing him within a few
Yeah, he
days.
talks
Yeah.
about this. He talks
Yeah.
about this, and he zeroes in on the Zanj rebellion.
Hmm.
This was a anti-slavery rebellion that was led by the Zanj, and the Zanj were a group of Bantu Africans from southeastern Central Africa,
Hmm.
who many of them have been enslaved by the Abbasid
Right.
dynasty. And they united with others ethnic groups that were non-African. It's called the Zanj Rebellion, but it wasn't just the Zanj
Mm.
that that revolted against the injustice and the oppression of the Abbasids. There were others. There were Persians that were involved, and there was a coming together of many different ethnic groups, and they established their own sultanate for
Mm.
a short while before they were crushed.
Mm.
And Dr. Abdullah bin Hamid Ali and other historians, they believe that it was a response to this. It was a response to this uprising of Black folk that now people began to see Black people as
Mm.
undesirables, as
I see.
deplorables, as
Mhm.
fit to be slaves, right?
Right.
And this is when you start to see a lot of the wholesale, what's called the Arab slave trade, right?
Right.
The Arabs, they really pick up, and it was horrible. And as Muslims of African descent, as African American Muslims, that's history we need to be familiar with,
Yeah.
because we have a lot of our people who think that period, this Arab slave trade, that still goes on in some places in the Muslim world.
Right.
I studied in Mauritania for a short while, and I saw it with my own eyes.
Mm.
Right? Anyone who watches the news, we've seen the brothers in Libya
Right.
on the auction blocks,
Right.
right? The largest population of enslaved people, Black people in the world, is now in Mauritania,
Subhanallah.
where they estimate about 20 to 30% of the population are enslaved haratin. They're called
Mm.
haratin. And sometimes they're not called slaves, they're called servants.
Right. Yeah.
But if you see how they're treated, no, yeah,
The slaves.
they're bona fide slaves, right? Even in Mali, this is an issue, especially in the outskirts, right,
Yeah.
outside of the major cities. Libya, of course, I've already mentioned, and then we have what's going on in the Gulf, in the name of, you have these maids who are basically prisoners,
Right.
right? And so it's slavery by another name, right?
Right.
To borrow a term
Yeah.
from our good sister Michelle Anderson, I think it is. Yeah.